an abrupt introduction to all of us. Hello, everyone.
I was still rocking
Welcome.
out to the intro music. I was getting,
You
I was
were.
chilling. Yeah.
I know, it's good music. If you don't know us, because you're for some reason new to Farmcraft this year, which would be super exciting for us, we are here to bring you the Farmcraft 2025 Land Demand Challenges. My name's Claire LeBeau. I am with NASEF, the Network of Academic and Scholastic Esports Federations. And what an honor and pleasure it is to work with these two, as well as other clever like folks in the background, to bring you this program. So, Eric.
Yeah, they're literally in the background. They're right behind here, actually. I am Eric Leitner. I am a 20-year veteran educator, and I am the education content producer for Clever Like Studios. And this is actually the program that, this is where it all began, was with Farmcraft. This is where this whole team right here that you're seeing on screen sort of came together, and we're going to stay together. But, we love doing this stuff. We love bringing these real world opportunities into the game experience for all of you. We love to see what you create, which is why I love the preseason challenges. We're going to talk about those. So I'm excited every time a new season starts. I'm excited. So I'm going to pass it down to Clevy there below me.
Hey. Thanks, Eric and Claire. My name is Brian. Also go by Clevy. I'm the founder of Clever Like Studios. We are a game design studio that is also an education company. So, we started hosting Minecraft clubs for kids and really learning that kids love video games and have a real good knack for it. And if we could only kind of connect the dots and help them connect those skills to future careers and other learning opportunities, then we'd be in a great spot. And that's what we do. We build the Farmcraft game, and you can see, we love to facilitate these things with great leaders like NASEF and Claire, really bringing these experiences to students around the world. So excited for you to take on our next challenge. Challenge number 5 is going to be an interesting experience. Looking forward to it.
Absolutely. Well, and if you are new to Farmcraft, you might have noticed already, we do like to enjoy ourselves. So that is one of the beautiful things about this program, is you get to have a whole lot of fun while you're learning all of these concepts. So I'm going to go ahead and share a little bit. We're going to give an overview of what Farmcraft 2025 is all about. And then we're also going to hear from a few participants from previous challenges, just so that you can see what are people learning and where do these people come from that are playing Farmcraft anyway. Hint, everywhere. They come from everywhere. So, Eric, I'm going to turn it over to you. Why Farmcraft?
Why Farmcraft? I know, right? It's so good. So, I've told this story so many times, but I feel like if you're new to this program, or if it's been a year and you forgot my old story, I'm going to be that old man who tells the same story over and over again. It's fine. Tell me the story again, Grandpa. Okay. Back in the classroom, when I first started teaching, I was a science educator. And this is still the case, I know, for some, but for many, it was the case before. But it was like, oh, you're the science teacher. Congratulations. You're also the health teacher. Here's the health curriculum. Have a good day. So I started one of the very first lessons with my students on the health curriculum. And the very first one is kind of this inquiry with the students. And it's, what is your favorite vegetable, right? What is your favorite vegetable? It's such a good question. I have so many choices that I would make. And then I got their answers back. And the number one answer in the room was chicken. And it was then that I realized, like, these students don't know where their food is coming from. I created content to try and help them with this path and things like that. And it's always a little delicate and a little tricky, because sometimes it can be a little jarring to learn where your food is coming from. And not just like, oh, where the animals are coming from, but have you ever seen like how a cashew or a Brussels sprout grows? It's crazy looking. I love it. So like, there's so much fascinating stuff to learn, including things like, and Brian will say it later, so I won't give it away, but Brian will share some things that he's learned along the way. But, that it said to me, like, there is a need for students to figure out where their food is coming from, and more importantly, where it's going to come from. Like, where in the future is our food going to come from? Because technology evolves, our needs evolve, our communities grow, our population grows, and the demands of the many become greater. Now, do we have the answers to all of those? No, but that is not the purpose of Farmcraft. The purpose of Farmcraft is for you all to explore the answers to those and maybe be the ones to solve that for our futures.
Absolutely. And I love the chicken vegetable analogy because it shows we do have a long ways to go sometimes.
You don't have a chicken tree?
Yeah, I do not.
Steve's Slava chicken is my favorite vegetable sandwich.
Oh my gosh. But we are going to teach all about agriculture through Minecraft. This is called Meeting Kids Where They Are, which is absolutely in the game of Minecraft all the time as much as possible. So if we can connect their love of that game with all kinds of important things that they should know, not just about their food, but this year we're going beyond the chicken tree. We are looking at food, clothing, and shelter. So we're going to look at several different aspects of agriculture. And there are two parts to it. So Brian, you want to share with us, why do we do two different aspects, build challenges and then regular season?
Absolutely. And first, I love that we are saying like this land can grow more than just food. So what are the pressures of somebody deciding what to grow? And I love that we, like anybody know caterpillars? Like, we love to introduce friction and challenges. And so so I'm excited about the concept of this season having to grow more, decide how to use your land competing against other things. But what's great about this program, that especially like the NASEF way of doing things, is amazing because there's so much mentorship and there's so much leadership in the way that these things are presented. So the build challenges are meant to kind of get you thinking and researching and communicating about these topics. So you're going to get a build challenge that, kids love to build in Minecraft, but let's talk about how are we going to think and research and how are we going to explain our builds. And then maybe we'll present you with some expertise and other insight along the way to help you with learning and transferring that knowledge into your work. And so there'll be a series of those. Keep it interesting, keep it exciting. If you're facilitating a group of students, you have lots of options as you're learning. And then there's the competitive phase where we give you a competitive world that you have to play to compete for a high score through communication and collaboration and research and all of this problem solving and all these things that you have to do around the realm of the theme and work together towards achieving your highest score. And what we do is we throw some challenges at you along the way. So we say, well, think about it as a person that wants to make the most money. What are the consequences if you only think about money? Think about it as the person that only has this or only has these resources. So we'll give you some constraints and allow you to experience the empathy of like having to make decisions around these things in the world. And that's where that's exciting for me, because it puts students in a place that they can't normally be in from day to day through a video game. So they get to think and develop some empathy for what farmers and other people around the world are going through just by playing a video game. And with the right guidance, it brings some amazing outcomes.
And I love the speed that this happens, right? Because in the real world, if you are growing a crop, you've got pretty much roughly, I don't know, like 6 months, depending, 3 months, takes a while. But fortunately, we can do the little and speed it right up. So you try something and you see the results and you go, oh, well, that didn't work quite right. Let's try it this way instead.
And Claire, what if we had a crop that took 20 to 50 years?
Oh, like a chicken tree?
Yeah, like a chicken tree, I mean, how else are you going to make your chicken shirts and your chicken homes?
Oh, man. All right. We're definitely going to have to get off the chicken kick here.
Feather beds.
Oh, good idea. All right. So that's one of the benefits here, is that as you're in Minecraft and as you're playing Farmcraft, you get to see the outcome of different decisions you make rather quickly, so that you then can see the differences between trying solution A or solution B or solution C. And as a team, you get to determine what are the different approaches that we're going to take. So there are all kinds of different lessons woven into this super fun game that you very smart people at Clever Like put together for us. So one of the things we want to do before we jump into what does this world look like, we just want to share a little bit. What have other educators done and what are some of the benefits that they see? So we're going to start out with a video from Uzbekistan. And as I said, we have people who participate in Farmcraft from around the world. More than 70 countries have participated in Farmcraft. And so we're looking to see if you have a friend in your town, invite them to join, but also if you have a friend on the other side of the world, invite them to join too, because everybody can participate no matter where they are from. So let's go ahead and check out what they said from this classroom.
Farmcraft has been extremely helpful in developing my students' teamwork and time management skills. They learn to achieve goals and manage difficult situations through good networking and cooperation. Moreover, they learn a lot about farming and sustainable development and the impact of agriculture on climate change as they try to keep the climate level high. It's my first time facilitating a team in such a big competition, and I'm thankful to NASEF for such an opportunity for my students to learn by playing and having fun, and for me to obtain skills and practical knowledge of team management and truly enjoy the process. I will use the skills to reinforce my students' social, teamwork, and leadership skills. I present two teams in this year's Farmcraft competition, Toppers and Kazuha. Each team has 3 members. At first, the challenges seemed complicated to them. It took a lot of time to sustain the farms, keep the crops safe from pests, and fertilize and water them. However, the more my students played and discussed farm management strategies, the better their performance became.
Excellent. So that's part of it, right? You keep playing and then you get better and better and you figure out new strategies together as a team. So that was a team that we had joining us from Uzbekistan. Now we had another group of teams from Taiwan, and we actually had several winners last year from Taiwan. So after we play this video, maybe we'll dive into that next and talk about what it means to be a winner and are there possibly prizes involved?
Pay attention.
And how much does it cost? I figure we'll talk about that.
Oh, because it's a big number. All right, here we go. All right, let's check out this video from Taiwan.
In each challenges, we brainstorm ideas, organize and share them with each other. Through this process, we have learned how to work efficiently as a team and improve our English and communication skills. So thank you, NASA, for giving us the opportunity and this platform to have fun and to learn about agriculture. So thank you. We are Team How Robots from Taiwan.
Oh, that's excellent. So how important is it to work as a team when you're playing Farmcraft?
I mean, it's huge. One of the things that makes it so interesting for us is, we develop the game, the world that the students are going to be playing in, and a year after year, this has never failed. Inevitably, we get student submissions where they just absolutely clobbered us, and the way that they absolutely clobber us is by doing exactly what the teachers were saying there, and what they were talking about their students doing, which was developing strategies, communicating, creating leadership skills, all of those things that allowed them to function like as a well-oiled machine, if you will, of a team. And again, the more they play it, the more they know what those things they have to manage are, and the better and better they get at it. There were strategies in last year's that we were like, how are they coming out of even the first round of farming with a score that is like literally perfect? And then we realized like they were like, so many teams figured out to do this one thing that we didn't even realize we should do, and we developed it.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah, and we designed the game so it's single player or multiplayer, and you would think like you would have an advantage if it was multiplayer, but when you have a lot of people running around not communicating with each other, then it could be a disadvantage, right? So you could consider playing it individually to learn the flow and the sequence and the importance of communicating so that everybody knows what the tasks are, what the process is, so we can coordinate. So really the only advantage comes in a multiplayer scenario when the team knows what to do and communicates well. And that's kind of like one of the great building experiences for teams that play a Minecraft season in
so you have to
Farmcraft.
You have to play as a team for it to be effective, right? Not have all okay, there are 4 people and we're each doing our separate thing. No, you have to actually collaborate to make it be a benefit.
Yeah, if you're one person, you can strategize with yourself. If you're a bunch of people, you're either going to just cause chaos or you're going to be so effective as a unit, that pendulum could swing either way.
Right. Yeah. I think I saw for sure when I try to play Farmcraft on my own, I mean, let's face it, I'm not the very best. I am not fast enough to accomplish the tasks that need to be accomplished on my own. So, bringing some friends in with you and figuring out how are you going to work together. I highly recommend, if you have friends like Eric and Brian, bring them in because they will lift your score overall. So speaking of scores, there is a goal here to win a competition. So there are 2 different things. As an educator, I'm sure you want the students to learn the principles that we were trying to convey. But if you really want to get those kids excited, one way to do that is by offering prizes. So we do have prizes. We have a first, second, and third place for each division, and you can see the amounts here of the prizes. You'll see that it's valued at USD. As I said, we have lots of people from all around the world, and so we will work with you individually to get the prize to you in the best format possible. We've had, over the years, we've learned a lot in this. So if you win and you're not from the United States, have no fear. We will work with you and make sure that you get the pricing. So first place prize is valued at $250, second place at $200, third place at $100, and that's for each division, so junior and senior. And then we have increased this year the number of randomly drawn teams. One thing that we recognize is the bigger this program gets, the more people we have joining who haven't played before, and they might feel like they're at a bit of a disadvantage to win the prizes. Now you can hustle and you can figure it out, but we also recognize if you are brand new, it might be a little more difficult for you. So we will randomly draw from everyone who at the very end of the regular season completes their challenges. Then we'll have a random drawing for those prizes. And please note, all those prizes are shared among team members. So if you have 4 team members, then you're going to split that $250 among the team, or some places have it go to the school to purchase new equipment. So it just depends on your individual situation. But that is really exciting because we know that prizes make people want to participate and try again and get a better score. And guess what? Every time they try again, they're learning something different. They're learning a new aspect.
Mm-hmm. Now,
Yes.
Claire, with all of these fantastic prizes, clearly the bar for entry, the cost of entry must be so high.
It is so high. Fasten your seatbelts. It is free. $0, 0 cents, whatever your currency is where you live, there is no charge to participate. And that is one of the things that we love the most about Farmcraft, I have to say, is that no matter where you are, you can participate.
I may have known the
that lead in.
I may have known the answer to that one in advance. I'm just saying.
I think you did. I think you did. All right. Well, let's talk about how you can join. So registration is super easy. You're going to go to nasef.org/farmcraft. There's also a link from the homepage if you don't remember the URL. So you're going to hop into nasef.org. And I am now going to share my screen so we can walk through exactly what that registration process looks like. So here we go. You are on the Farmcraft page. And Eric, you want to just kind of talk us through a little bit about what we see here?
Well, absolutely. I mean, for starters, you see an adorable cow on a tractor. So what's not to like already, you know? But you will see, obviously, a description of the overall view of what the program is, which we've been discussing, including things like that you may be asking, like what are the age brackets for this and things like that. And we'll go into a little deeper into that as we go. But the 2 buttons you'll see there at the bottom are the really important ones. And the first one is the most important one if you're looking to get started, and that is the register button, right? Again, it costs $0 and 0 cents to register. You click that register button, and it'll get you in. Now, again, you want to make sure that this is where your adult sponsor is the one taking care of this for you. So if you are a homeschool team, if you're an after-school team, if you are a school-based team and you're doing this with your teacher, which we saw some teachers talking about this on the screen, that teacher, that parent, that after-school, counselor, those are your adult sponsors. So whoever's going to help facilitate this part of it for you, if you're a student watching, whoever is going to be the adult that helps get your team registered, that is the person that you will direct to this link, and they will do this. If you are the adult sponsor, this is where you want to go to get registered and determine how many teams and all of that you're putting in there. So let's scroll down on the form. And you'll see, of course, the first information that's asked for was the adult sponsor, along with information about what school or organization, things like that. And of course, how many students you have participating. Now, you don't have to specify, at that point, of course, you're just saying, I'm going to be the adult sponsor, let's say, for, these 18 kids, but those 18 kids might make up 6 different teams. So, this is where you would put in, well, how many teams do you have and things like that. And then what are the team names and so on. So you just need to have the information of who are the students or that are participating, what age bracket are they in, and what team is, or how are they going to be referred to as a team, because we're not going to be sharing their personal information. That is why we're only asking for the numbers. But that last one is my favorite one right there. Well, second to last one, I guess, right now on the screen is how many, and there's our word again, free Minecraft education licenses would you like to request? And yes, NASEF will provide, and I think these are on a first come, first served basis, but you have quite a few. If your school or your organization does not have access to Minecraft education, a lot of schools do, so check first. But if your school does not, you can request those licenses to use during the Farmcraft season with your students. So if you're like, well, we can't afford Minecraft, so can we even participate? It's supposed to be free. It's still free. You just got to get on board and request those licenses from NASEF.
Exactly. All right. So that is the registration form. Very straightforward and easy to work your way through it. Of course, as always, if you have any questions, you can email us info@nasef.org, and Carolyn will get back to you with information. Lickety split. I almost didn't say it, and I thought that's just such a fun word. I have to use it.
You know what?
All right.
For the English learners out there, you're going to have to figure out what lickety split means.
You're going to have to look it up. Lickety split is definitely an American phrase, but it's a fun one. They don't have to look it up. I'll just tell them. It means super duper fast. There you go.
What does super duper mean? No,
super duper. Oh my goodness. All right. So we are now back on the main Farmcraft page, and you'll also see that we have this team guide, which is very helpful. So what kind of information, Eric, do you want to we'll just run through this real quick, but there we go.
Yep. And the team guide has pretty much everything that you would have. Consider this like your frequently asked questions. Like, what do we need to do? Like, what is the program about? What do we need to do to get registered and get started? What is the components of a team? What are our responsibilities? What is the eligibility? What are the various categories and awards? What is the schedule for tuning into the live streams or the challenges, or making sure that we're getting our challenges in on time? All of that can be found in the team guide, which I'm looking at this right now, and this team guide is in English.
Correct. The team guide is in English. However, when we get to some of the other educator guides, you're going to find several languages, which is very exciting.
That is exciting. That's why I kind of I like throwing you the softballs, like just,
I saw that. That was pretty good. So let's talk for a second. We've said that there are going to be preseason challenges. How in the world do we know what to do if we are participating?
Well, for one, it's always a good idea to watch these streams. Even if you can't tune in when they air, they will stay right there on the NASEF YouTube channel, and you can watch them at your leisure anytime between then and when the next challenge is due, and they stay there. But we will always announce them on these streams. So with that in mind, maybe it's time to announce one of our challenges and kind of show what that looks like when we deliver a challenge to you.
All right. So I'll do a little drum roll.
I'm on the edge of my seat. Whoa,
get back on your chair. Back up. I'm
going to fall out.
All right. Are we ready?
We're ready,
Challenge
we're ready.
number 1 is, here we go. I was waiting for one of you to jump in and say what it is. The
Nope, too
what
bad.
and why of crops.
The what and why of crops, right? So you can see the right there on the page, we have a link to the first challenge. The first challenge, if you're watching this right now, is live right now. And what you will do is you will open up your Minecraft world. There is no world file. This is up to you. You can open up a flat world. You can open up an infinite world, leave that up to you and decide where it is you're going to build this to represent what the challenge is asking for. So let's read off the challenge. It says the word, oh, it's gone.
Oh.
Nope, never mind. It's back in a different format.
There we go. This is the challenge guide itself. I'm so sorry.
There you go. You're good. You're good. You're good. You can find it in lots of places. So we're good. But yeah, every challenge will have a challenge guide that will include both what an overview of that particular challenge is, what the standards are for that challenge. And what I really like is if you scroll down a bit, let's scroll down the document a little bit. Claire's figuring that out. You'll see the tasks involved. So instead of just saying, hey, let's leap it, jump in and build, like obviously we need to know what to do first. So how do we figure out what it is we need to know to be successful in the challenge? How do we determine what it is we're going to do? How do we do the research that makes sure that we're meeting the expectations of the challenge? And then of course, as we scroll down, like part 1 says, tune in to the live stream. If you're watching this, hi, you've done part 1. Good job. We're very proud of you. And then if you scroll down, you'll see that part 2 is the challenge itself. And this is where we can read the challenge and say, okay, what is it we need to figure out how to do? And it's the what and why of crops. So the word crops is not limited to one type of plant or a single purpose for growing those plants. A wide variety of crops is grown around the world with a variety of purposes, right? Now, we're not going to tell you what all of those purposes are. We want you to figure it out. So your job is to figure out what crops grow in your area and what are they used for? Are they all used for food? Are some of them not for food? So design a farm in your Minecraft world to model and highlight the crops grown in your area or region and explain what each of these crops is used for or what they are used for. So again, we know Minecraft is limited. This is why we like doing Farmcraft, because we add things to the world and stuff to make it more authentic. But you're creating a representation of that. So if you're like, oh, they grow tons of soybeans in my area, but there is no soybean plant to put in Minecraft, you're going to put something there to represent it. And maybe even like a sign or a board in Minecraft Education to label those things and talk us through it as you do your video entry. So consider ways to build and present those ideas that do not exist in a typical Minecraft world, right? So again, if soybeans is something, you're going to explain like what you put there to represent it. And explain the content you included in your build and why you chose to include it. So you have to do the research. You have to figure out what grows in your area, why it's grown, what it's used for, because not everything is for eating. And not only that, some things are for eating and they're not for people to eat. They're grown for other things to eat. So there's lots of things to factor in. So some questions to consider when doing your research, like which crops are grown in my area or region? What are these or why are they grown here? Like, so are they grown here for a reason? Is the climate good for it? Are they sustainable here? Do they, the water levels look adequate for what we're growing, so on? What purpose do each of these crops serve? So are they grown for a specific purpose? What challenges might a region face if they are unable to grow a crop that serves a particular purpose? So if you can grow a lot of crops and none of them are for food, there might be a challenge there. And of course, what resources are needed to grow those crops. And again, you'll see more details in there. And one of the first things we have you do is go through what's called the KWL chart, is like, what do you know about those questions already? What do you need to learn or want to learn about them? And then once you've got what you've learned, which is that final L, what we learned, that's the stuff you're going to put into your world to represent. So, right. So maybe I know, like down the street from my house, for example, I know they grow wheat. I have no idea where that wheat goes. I don't know if it's for making bread or if it's for feeding livestock or if it's, ends up in my kitchen. I have no idea. So I'd love to learn that. And maybe once I figure that out, that will kind of guide me towards what I'm going to build. And then, of course, if you scroll down a bit more, if you're looking for good resources, yes, we encourage you to get online, do the research, find, the almanacs for your area and things like that might guide you towards what's growing in your area, or the good educational resources for your area. But we do provide some resources to help start that process for you. So there's some good websites and good information here to check out to figure out what's growing in your area, and even the whys of some of what is growing in your area is there. And then, of course, it's time to build. And of course, when you're building, you always want to have that challenge. So we put it there again, because that's what you want to be building towards. Are we checking all these boxes? Are we meeting all the criteria with our build? And then finally, to submit, which is down below, there is a link to a Google Doc. And this is where you will create a video of your world with a walkthrough. We will encourage you, always, of course, to do a voiceover of it. So talk us through what you're showing us on your screen. And then you're going to upload your video and share the link with us in the Google form. And we always, and we've been doing this since year one, have a few things that we, as the people who have to watch all of your videos, and we love watching your videos, do not get me wrong, it's not a chore, but you can make it easier on us, right? So make sure that we can hear and see what you are showing us clearly, right? We want to hear your voices explaining things. We want to see exactly what you're showing us so we can see your build, because we want to share it. But sometimes our videos or qualities are not great, and sometimes the camera work is all over the place, and it's hard. And the other thing is, I don't have Minecraft open, but we have a tendency as game players to, like, if we have the little cursor in the middle of the screen, the little crosshair, and you want to show us something, you wiggle it around and go, look at this thing over here. Don't do that, because then my head has to do this, and it's hard to watch.
Exactly.
And now I'm out of breath.
I was going to say, I think you might want to take a deep breath for a moment, because that was a lot of information that you just went through. But the main takeaway I want everyone to get is there are a lot of resources here to help you. So whether you are brand new to implementing Farmcraft or you've been at it for a while, definitely want to make sure that you're taking advantage of these lesson plans and the resources that the team at Cleverlike has pulled together, so that you are not just starting from scratch, that you have, there's another phrase that people might have to look up, starting from scratch. You can use these resources so that you can jump in and get going right away.
I think we should do that. We should create a category where everybody has to submit like one of their local colloquialisms, like
idioms. Yeah,
the idioms and stuff. Like, I was thinking money doesn't grow on trees. That's something, understand what the meaning of the phrase is, and then share one of yours in your culture, depending on.
If you can squeak that into that first video, one will know that you watched this live stream. So you did step one, and step two will be awesome for us, because we'd love to hear them.
That's right.
I'm really curious what like the literal translation of them is, and like why. Those are always fun.
Yes, exactly. Well, speaking of translations and various languages, one of the things that we have heard repeatedly is that while this is a great program to help you learn English and improve your English skills, at the same time, it's easier for the students sometimes when the materials are presented in their language. So we have right now 2 different languages based on where we know we have people participating, and we've translated those challenge guides into both Spanish and French. So if you go to that Farmcraft landing page, you will see a link where you can go to the Spanish version. All the same information that Eric just ran through for you, as far as the questions, the builds, the resources, the KWL chart. It's still called a KWL chart. I was kind of curious about that, but
you were hoping for the SQA chart, right?
I was, to be honest. Yeah. So it is all there for you in Spanish. And then we also have it in French as well. So again, all the same information just available for you. And again, those are all from the Farmcraft landing page, which is nasef.org/farmcraft. So I think that we have provided a whole lot of information as far as where you can find the resources, how you can register, what do I do next? So let's see, what else do we need to know?
I think we need to know some calendar dates. What's our timeline? When is this first challenge due? When are they going to get the next challenge? And of course, what they all want to know is when are we going to get that world, so we can play the game part of it, right? As much as fun as it is to build, I actually prefer the building part. I'm not going to lie. Like,
right, exactly. So
way
again,
more creative Minecraft player than a survival Minecraft player.
Exactly. So again, all of those dates, everything. Where are we going to find those if we want to find the dates?
I'm guessing it's on the website.
On the website, and then also in the team guide. So right here on the website, I think I need to add this in. There we go. Okay, so on the website, here we go. You've got the overview of all the dates, but that's not specific enough probably. So then you're also going to go up to this team guide. And when you look at the team guide, you'll have the specific dates that you want. So build challenges are here. Regular season, and then do we have the date for, let's see, this first challenge is due, let's see, I gotta dig, on,
I think our next stream is on the 24th.
Our next stream is on the 24th, yes. Yes.
But if you would like yours featured on the stream, you might need to or try to get it in a little earlier, because the ones that we review that look good, like sometimes we like to share those on the stream. And if you're getting in at the last minute, it might not show up on the stream.
Right, exactly. So yes, we would love to see some of those on the stream for September 24th. So we want to get those in around like the 20th so that we have a chance to review them. Yes, excellent. All right, so that is the overview of where to find the team guide, where to find the dates, where to find the challenge guides, how to register, what our first topic is. So I think that we are ready to go off and running.
Nope, now it's time for everyone to take the test.
Yes, let's run it back.
Yeah.
Someone will have to build a world that answers all these questions.
Right.
Fine.
Like, already have it.
Up for the task. Well, we certainly appreciate having all of you join us, and we're looking forward to a lot of fun this time around. As always, we're going to have several guests that are experts in these areas of agriculture around food, clothing, and shelter, since that is our land demand theme this time. So make sure you tune into the live streams to get the information. And our very next live stream is going to be, as we said, on September 24th. And you can find that either on our YouTube channel, or it will also be embedded on the Farmcraft page, because let's face it, it's just easiest to remember one page to go to again and again and again. All right. Any words of wisdom that you two want to share as far as this first challenge goes?
Yeah, I do. I have a really important one. Have fun with it. Like, honestly, have fun with it. When you build your farm, like the videos we love sharing are the ones where you can tell, like, they had so much fun doing this. Sometimes you can see that the students are like sort of role playing as their characters on the farm as they're kind of explaining all the things, or they've built things that are like, make it unique and interesting and fun while still addressing the challenges. That is okay. You are not necessarily limited to saying like, no, we can only put in the world the exact details and then like everything else is bland. Like, no, like, have fun with it.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. Build some camaraderie with your teammates.
Absolutely. Yeah. That will come in handy later.
Yeah. Become a team. Work together.
Yeah. Which I think we do pretty well. I guess if this were our test of being a team, I think we do all right.
I think so.
We're doing pretty good.
We've
got 5 years plus of team building, so.
Exactly. All right. So reminder, September 19th, those build challenges are due, and we'll be looking forward to sharing some of them on September 24th. And at that time, we also will reveal what the next challenge will be. So make sure you join us then. Thanks, everyone. We will see you soon.